guys, what's up? It's Joe Ready from Rady's Rides. I'm back on my home turf because guess what? We have that latest iteration of one of Ford's top sellers, and it's this vehicle right here. This is a 2025 Ford Explorer. This is the top trim known as the Platinum trim. But before we get into the changed up and refreshed Explorer, let's talk about what's going on here. The Explorer, this vehicle that started very early in the 1990s, has really come into its own, and it's fascinating because back then there wasn't a lot of competition. Today, this mid-size three-row SUV segment is on fire. What's interesting though is that Ford has created some kind of selectability, so to speak, of the Explorer, that it gives it a unique experience, not only in driving, but also in owning one. Let me go a little bit deeper. So you're gonna have 4 different trims for 2025, when time's going by. You have the, of course, active trim, which is your new entry trim. You have ST line, ST, and then Platinum. And then what's interesting is within those trims, like our Platinum has the same engine as the ST, because you could get the Platinum with a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, and ours is just rear-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive. So very unique. A lot of the competition, you might be able to get front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, but you're definitely not going to get rear-wheel drive alone. What's fascinating is there's another SUV. This one's gotten a total redesign that I think would be pretty close comparison to this one. What vehicle is that's going to be? The Mazda CX-90. So let's go ahead. Let's see, does the Explorer bring the goods more than the Mazda CX-90? Let's go ahead and dive into our Rapid Red Explorer Platinum and find out. Right off the bat, this color. Rapid Red is absolutely glorious in the Florida sun, and it can challenge. I firmly believe this color can challenge Soul Red, which that's a pretty bold statement, but I really am digging this color. Up front, you got a whole new headlight housing, LED daytime running lamps, turn signals, and LED projector beam headlights. Working our way down, we got functionality, man. Fog lamps, LED, and those massive corner air curtains. I like the little bit of this smoky gray, kind of close to gloss black, but it's more like a smoky gray finish surrounding the fog lamp area. And then the fact that that's functional, plus it gives a nice sort of aggressive look to the front end. If you're comparing this to the Mazda CX-90, the CX-90 has a little bit cleaner, more elegant style to the front end. But you have some flat black and this flat metallic silver to finish it off. Now, as we come across the new grille, this grille is specific to the Platinum. You're gonna have your aluminum accent trim all the way across the brow, and then all the different accents, forward-facing camera, gloss black, and then working our way down to ground level, you do have flat black in the center that has functionality. And remember, we do have an intercooler behind there because we do have that EcoBoost twin turbo V6. And I'll get more into the horsepower and all those goodies. But definitely giving it a bolder look from the front. Like I said, the front of the CX-90 is gonna be a little bit smoother, a little bit silkier. Now, as we rise up, you have that nice high hood, has the center indentation like you would find on a Ford pickup truck. Rest of it, just nice and bold without being too obnoxious. Now, when we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So when you go Platinum, you're gonna be getting this massive wheel. This is a 21-inch wheel, machined aluminum accents, V-spoke design with the metallic gray finish. Tires, all 4 corners are 275 on the width, 45 series sidewall. What's interesting is that you could also get 21-inch tires on the CX-90. I kind of like the wheels better on the CX-90. These look a little plain Jane for a Platinum. And one of the biggest things that's just making me want to scream zonk is this right here. The flat black around the fender opening just should not be there on a Platinum trim. This should be all Rapid Red. If you go CX-90, it comes all body color. Let me know how you feel about that flat black. Ours, like I said, is rear-wheel drive alone. The good news about the CX-90 is that it's rear-wheel drive based, biased of a platform, but it also sends power to the front wheels. But you can't get it just as a rear-wheel drive SUV. This, obviously, you can. Now, when we come down the side, you're gonna have gloss black on the mirror caps, LED turn signals, 360-degree cameras, like the way they black out the A-pillar, that long flat roof, and then up top you have aluminum raised roof rails with a little bit of flat black for the supports. On the CX-90, you have the flush mounted roof handles. So it really comes down to style, but also usability. And these create just a little bit more wind noise than the roof rails that are close to the body. Color matched on the door handles, and then a little bit of silver, little sliver of silver on the bottom within that flat black, and the Explorer name. Can't forget how they stamped that in. Nice that they don't put more badging on the doors because it just gives it a clean look. Working our way towards the rear. Love the way that they black out the rear pillar here coming into the rear glass. We got new tail lighting. It's got the Explorer name inside just in case you forgot what vehicle you bought. And then we have full LED lighting, no old-fashioned light bulbs. The lighting extends into the gloss black bar that goes across with the Explorer name. I do like the long roof spoiler. For some reason, the CX-90 has this little nub. It's like a little stub nub, and I don't love it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. This, I do love. I gotta zonk this though. Wipers gotta be tucked underneath, but both of them have exposed wipers, so it is what it is, I guess, at the end of the day. Of course, you gotta let everybody know you got platinum. That's your top trim. And then as we work our way down, you do have your full tow capability. It only comes exposed. There is no cover. I don't know if I like that. I think from a usability standpoint, I like it, but other than that, I don't like the way it's exposed. And then you do have a quad tip exhaust, 2 on each side, and Steven's gonna swing around and square it off to show you that quad tip exhaust. Staggered tip. Now, the CX-90 has no exposed exhaust, and to me, that's a missed opportunity to really showcase some nice touches on the back. The one thing I gotta zonk about these exhausts is that the exhaust enters out the bottom, not the back. I don't like that. That doesn't make sense. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see if the amount of horsepower makes sense in this Explorer. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod, and I'm gonna zonk that for 2 reasons. First of all, the CX-90 has hood struts. Second of all, you touch this, it is boiling hot right now, steaming hot because of not only being hot and sunny, but being under the engine compartment. So just be careful. I do like the way they put that strut tower brace to stiffen up the front end of the vehicle, and there is that twin turbo V6. So what do we have? It's a 3-liter EcoBoost, which means twin turbo in this case, 400 horsepower. So that makes it more horsepower than the CX-90. CX-90 is around 323, and that has a straight 6 turbocharged engine, single turbo. This has 2 turbos, 400 horsepower, 415 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Mazda CX-90 is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds, top speed 145 miles per hour, MPGs 18 in the city, 25 on the highway. The vehicle weighs 4,800 pounds, and it could tow up to 5,000 pounds, which is exactly the same amount of tow capability as the Mazda CX-90. Go figure. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and see this thing move. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Rapid Red Ford Explorer Platinum rear-wheel drive with the high-output EcoBoost V6 underneath the hood. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, lay it on me. I need a new crossover SUV. I don't want to go Expedition. That's too big. I've been looking at the Mazda CX-90, but you know what? I've been a blue oval family for my whole life. My dad had a tattoo across his lower back. My grandfather did, and so do I. So I kind of bleed blue, so to speak. How much is it? Starting price for the Platinum trim, which remember is the top trim, is $53,950. Obviously, depending on how you option it, can see it approach the $60,000 barrier. But let's see exactly what Ford is bringing for 2025 in this Platinum trim to the door panels. Love the new style and material. So you're going to notice the two-tone. That two-tone is actually called crystal gray. Love it with the stitching, the real wood finish, and then no gloss black up top. There is some gloss black around the switchgear, nothing too crazy. We got the B&O sound system with the aluminum speaker grill cover. And then you have a door pocket large enough for 4 Costco hot dogs and a large Pepsi to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, we have the B&O sound bar. It actually extends all the way from passenger to driver's side. Got the Explorer name. There's minty green ambient lighting, which you can't see right now because it's not dark. We have more of that crystal gray. We have our little Easter egg display of all the different generations of Explorer. And you could easily put, I would say, 5 of those super long Slim Jims in there. Love the soft material. And then look at this guy. 13.2-inch infotainment system, Google Maps, Google Assistant. You got more apps than the App Store on your phone. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. You could go into your vehicle settings. You got hill descent control. And then there is our Explorer in rapid red. That's kind of cute. I like the way it does that. You get your tire pressure, oil life, all by the press of a button. Let me go ahead and throw it into reverse. Backup camera, nice and large. Resolution is decent. Not perfect, but decent. The CX-90 does have better resolution, but I do like the infotainment system in this vehicle a lot more, even though all the AC controls are through the screen. Now, the nice thing is you have a nice finger rest here, and you just have to tap. I'm fine with the tapping. I don't like the drag, because then you get greasy fingerprints all over the place. 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, and a heated steering wheel, so they got you covered there. You can shut it off. I'm going to leave it on. Come back home, make it nice and large. You got a start-stop button for your engine. Real volume knob. Shut off that pesky auto start-stop feature. Pull up the forward-facing camera, which there it is out the front. And then I love the way they pulled this bag like a big tongue, because you got a place for 2 Snickers, or you could stack up 2 packages of Reese's peanut butter cups, wireless charging. Down below, there's a lot of gloss black, but I think most people are going to do this. They're going to open that because you got a USB-C, USB-A, 12-volt, and at least storage for 8 Twinkies. Close it up, rotary dial for the 10-speed automatic transmission. You got your drive mode selector knob, 2 cup holders, a Twinkie holder, more of that soft crystal gray leather. Open this up, you got 2 USB-Cs. So they got USB-Cs out the yin-yang, and you could easily put, I would say, I would probably say maybe 5 Hostess pies. Maybe get blueberry. I love the blueberry. I love apple. And then they sometimes would have the chocolate pudding filled Hostess pies. My dad's mechanic shop growing up was right next to a Hostess Depot center. And he used to let me go over there, and I used to just stuff my face full of Hostess fruit pies. I still suffer PTSD from those days. Love the leather, nice and soft, the crystal gray, the platinum badge, soft, full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist for the driver, and we have that power shade for our panoramic sunroof. Nice, easy operation, which is great. And then that one touch. Why don't you come over here to the business end, though? I want to show you behind the new wheel in this new Explorer. All right, guys, business time. You do have 3 memory seat settings. I do like the Explorer aluminum sill plate. It illuminates the name Explorer at night. You do have all your easy-to-get-to seat controls. And we have front massage seats. Steven, let's show them on the screen here. You could do full recovery, circular cushion, whatever you want. They have so many different ways. Ooh, that feels, I'm going to do full recovery. And you could actually adjust the intensity. I have it full intensified. Steering wheel, the leather, the Ford badge, flat black on the switchgear, just a little bit of gloss black. It is an electric tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you have that 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster with all the different modes. I mean, they got you figured out for every little thing in this vehicle, especially with the massage seats. The one thing it doesn't have, which I'm surprised, is a head-up display. Let me know if you think that should be a zonk. But let's get into the mid-row and the third row of this 3-row crossover SUV. All right, guys, mid-row time. I like on the door panels how you have the same great material, and that's the thing is that they're really bringing a higher level of materials and fit and finish. Backs of the seats, the leather, you got nice large pockets, easily put. I would say probably 2 personal pan pizzas from Pizza Hut will fit in there nicely. You got your AC controls with the Explorer name. Only heated seats, no ventilated seats. That's a zonk. 2 USB-Cs, a home power source. There's your cup holders for little tiny cups. You can't even get a Super Slurpee in there. That's sad. Sitting here though, we have our manual security shades. Seats slide. Seats recline. And like I said, on the doors, the materials are just really fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and show you, before I get in the third row, the captain's chair armrest. Ford does the best. They do the best captain's chair armrest. What I'm gonna do is watch this. I'm gonna hit this button up top. Steven, show them the button, please. There's the button. And then look at that. Slides out of the way. And now I could just go like this. Ta-da! Let me get this out of my bag, hold on. Ta-da! There we go. So sitting here, my knees are kind of high and my rear end's kind of low. It's not really the most comfortable position, but I could sit back here for about 50 miles. 2 USB-Cs. I do like the way they got smaller hot dogs. You could get smaller, not even a Nathan's hot dog in there. You might have to go with a Ballpark Frank. Try to go all beef, because God only knows what they're putting in hot dogs today. AC vents nicely mounted up top. They really carve out this back area, so even 6 foot tall Joe Rady is not touching the headliner. And you got a good size quarter window to look out of. But let's get into the cargo area and see what you could stuff in this Explorer. All right, guys, obviously very important on any SUV, especially mid-size class, is gonna be that usability. So I have the third row up. You could see the amount of space you have. You're looking at 16 cubic feet of space. Now the great news is you have storage on the sides here. So on the passenger side and the driver's side, you have enough room to put at least 2 Yeti cans, 1 Yeti can on each side. And then look at what we have. A 12 volt, easily accessible, LED cargo lighting. And then you press this button here. Well, first, before I press it, we want to put the headrest down. Headrests are manual. Use your index finger. Nice. Now, you see where it says LR? That does not stand for Lori Rady, even though she thinks so. You just hit the button. Actually, you have to hold it down. But you hit the button. There they go. Just takes a little bit of kind of being persistent. Fold that down, nice and flat. You are looking at 46 cubic feet of space. Fold down that mid-row, gives you 85.8 cubic feet of space. Here's where those USB-Cs are, only on the passenger side for the third row. Everything back here, hard plastic, but I do love the way it's nice and flat. And then underneath here, I mean, look at the amount of space. I would say you could probably fit NES, Sega Genesis, and a Sega Master System, plus some games, say 3 games per system, and the controllers and all the wiring and hardware. That could be your little video game central, especially if you're hiding it from your significant other. If she says, oh, video games are for kids, keep the stuff out in your Ford Explorer. Nobody will know. It'll be our little secret. But if you're ready, I'm ready. I'm not about making secrets. I'm about making on throttle. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get to it in this Explorer. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Ford Explorer Platinum high output EcoBoost rear wheel drive. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go. Nice. This vehicle definitely brings the acceleration more so than any other mid-size 3-row SUV at this price point. Hands down, great chassis. They really upped their game on the interior. Love the short reach to that 13.2-inch infotainment system. You have all the different drive modes. And really just a nice feel in this Platinum trim, especially with the B&O sound system, all the storage space, and that 3-row flexibility. Now, don't worry, if you've never driven a midsize SUV with 21-inch wheels, the ride is not harsh. They fine-tune the suspension very well. And another thing is, with the different modes, you could really personalize the experience for what you want. On throttle, here we go. So, nice how you just get cut off by people very easily. And then it's just one of those things that you gotta watch out for, especially when it comes to navigating on city streets. But going down the road, the high output V6 does a great job. 400 horsepower, more horsepower than any of the other mid-size 3-row crossovers in this price point segment. So that's one thing to realize, is that you're getting the most for this segment. Not like the CX-90 is a slouch, but this just does, I mean, more horsepower is more horsepower. And the fact that it's rear-wheel drive, you're not sending power to all 4 wheels, allows you to use more of that horsepower for the acceleration. Great visibility out the front, all of the Ford safety features, clear view of that digital gauge cluster, and you could scroll through a whole cornucopia of information. I like the way you could actually bring the map, not only fuel economy, but your map, the Google map, to the digital cluster. So you could actually be on something else here, like say if you were working with your massage seats, and actually still have your navigation in front of you. Very, very smart on that layout. I love the fact that at this price point you're getting full massage settings for both the passenger and the driver up front. Visibility is phenomenal, and the brakes are excellent as well, of course. On throttle, here we go. But I think if it's been a while since you've driven a Ford Explorer, you need to get behind the wheel of this one, because, like I said, from a technology standpoint, from a driving standpoint, from the materials, the fit and finish, everything is definitely upgraded in here in a very good way. You are getting some sound pumped in through the B&O sound system, but it's nothing too obnoxious. And I think for this platform, it definitely works well. Seats are so supportive and comfortable, actually more comfortable than the CX-90. It's just the CX-90 has a little bit better communication through the steering wheel. Something to think about. Mazda does that driver engagement really well, but really it comes down to what kind of style you like, because at the price point you're pretty much even Stevens. But I hope that this has been a good overall review of what the Ford Explorer Platinum rear-wheel drive with the high output EcoBoost is all about. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. Another fun-filled day here in Tampa Bay with this Ford Explorer Platinum. Definitely want to thank everybody at Ford for allowing us access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Does the Explorer do it right? Does it do it better than all the other midsize SUVs, especially the Mazda CX-90? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Gotta thank Stephen Flood Photography, working the camera like a champ. Show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.